A coach, Master Cedric. The Frenchman.
Not sure which would be worse, the friar or the Frenchman. The friar. Definitely the friar.
Geneviève de la Croix.
You're alone. You are alone. You're very alone.
Are you feeling well?
I'm most well. Very well. Well.
And you are?
Cedric. Sir Cedric.
Okay, who do you play?
Cedric Grey. He's the youngest son of three sons from Sir Thomas Grey, my father. And he's the prankster of the family, I think, you know, the skirt-chasing kid. And he's been reared to study for the church as a cleric rather than become a knight like his older brothers, and he desperately wants to do that, but he's being pushed back into this corner, and has this, you know, religious path to follow. And he doesn't really want to do that, and you'll see, you know, in the pilot he gets to swashbuckle and stuff like that to overcome, you know, this thing that he's meant to do.
Now, you know, the show as a whole is sort of so different from anything else that's on. If a friend, if somebody asks you, what's the show about? What would your answer be? What's it about?
I said this to an American interviewer when I came over. I said, it's kind of a medieval bonanza. And then someone called me and said, geez, you got to see the cover of the LA Times. It says a medieval bonanza. So, you know, that sums it up, really, the strong father, you know, the kids, and it's really like, it's 1350 instead of, you know, Ponderosa, you know, with the castles and stuff like that. And, you know, there's three sons, a daughter, and we're all, we don't have a mother. The mother's dead. And, cut. And it's basically. Do you want to know about the pilot?
Well, no, they will have seen that already. It's just generally what the show is like, and which about you, what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a conflict in each episode. You know, for example, the one that we're doing now is the story about the brother. My older brother returns from the Crusades, and he's not the brother we all thought he was. He's 250 pounds heavier and likes to eat, and. You know, we go to see the Duke, and, you know, all these bandits come in, and you know, we're all hostages. So it's, you know, and in each episode there's, you know, a conflict there, you know, where we've got to do something, draw our swords or something to save our father. It's always that the kids come to the rescue type of thing. You know, we've gained strength from our father, so now you're really seeing how we're growing up and that we can actually take care of things and actually, you know, save people, I guess.
Let's get to you as an actor now, because you're in a unique position in that you're doing the two shows.
Yeah, really.
But when I saw this pilot, I thought, God, isn't that strange? He can do an English accent perfectly.
Yeah.
Because to watch Roseanne, one would assume that you were born and raised in the Chicago suburbs.
Yeah.
What is your background?
Well, I was born in Dublin, Ireland, and I lived there for 18 years.
Did you really?
Yeah, so I've only been in the States about 4 years. So it's very strange. I mean, we're getting this mixture of Irish, English, and American stuff happening in this. So it's hard to, you know, you've got to really sit down and concentrate about, you know, which accent do you really want to do tonight or something. So, and it's fantastic. I'm flattered the way that I have this show now. And then, you know, I can skip across to the States. I was there 2 weeks ago to do a bunch of episodes for the upcoming season on Roseanne, and that was very strange just to be there and then come back a week later, and then you're in these armor and swords and wigs and everything. It was just very strange Halloween stuff. So it's great being able to do it, you know.
Yeah, it could get really schizophrenic. Well, it's so rare, I find, for a British actor to be able to do an American accent. Peter Sellers was good at it, but very few are.
Yeah.
When you first went to the U.S., did it come easy to you?
Well, I used to go there as a kid, 6, 7-year-old, you know, and I'd come back and I'd have this Yankee accent, and all the people in class would want to sit next to me, and they say, oh, I want to sit next to him, he's been to America. And so I was always taking them off. And then when I got over there, it was just basically, observing and listening to how they speak and their tune, whereas, the English lilt and everything is it's complete opposite. They speak in one sentence deal, whereas the English are up, down, and the Irish as well. So it came very naturally, the American, and that helped me get the Roseanne thing.
Yeah.
And then coming back was really strange, just trying to do this English thing. So I had to draw on like old friends and stuff to remember, and basically being around an English crew all the time. Right, if you forget anything, you can always go up and ask a rigger, how do you say this? So it's easy really when when you're involved in this. You can just get into what other people are saying, and you're drawn into how they're feeling, and it comes out.
Sure does. It's really worked for you. So you said in the U.S. about 4 years?
Yeah, in Los Angeles.
And it was Dublin before that. So you lived in a city, so you weren't a
Yeah,
country. You weren't
no,
a
I
country
wasn't
boy.
a farm boy, no. No, I can't give you that sob story.
Now, did you know that you were going to act when you went to the U.S.?
Never, no. I was working on these nuclear power plants for about a year, 20 stories high, rope around you with your grinder. I was a lot of jobs, a painter, a waiter.
Was this in California?
Yeah, so I did some stuff for years before any of this happened.
What brought the subject of acting into your mind?
I met this girl, and she said, why don't, a few people, they were like saying, we should do this, try it, and I said, sure, I don't. So, I got the piece of paper, and I went in, and you eventually start reading for parts, and then it was, I don't know, I never went to a class. I went to one class, it scared the crap out of me, I wasn't into questions like, trying to figure out what Hamlet had for breakfast one morning, getting into the whole method thing. It's just more natural, just how's it going stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's, didn't really take classes.
And then you've just been working around?
Just going to readings and, found a good manager and a good agent. They take care of you, and it's up to you just to, to concentrate on that particular job or, a particular audition or meeting or whatever. It's you that, pays them. So you've got to do the work,
Well, now, as Cedric, you're dealing with lots of swordplay, horseback, things that probably in your neighborhood in Dublin you didn't do a lot of. If you weren't trained in an acting
we had
school,
sharpened sticks, a couple of rocks.
But quite seriously, obviously the guys who went to an acting school got swordsmanship. And
Yeah,
all
well,
that stuff.
no.
Has it been a problem for you?
At the start, I came away from the pilot with a bunch of scars from sword fighting at the end scene. It was difficult, but we have a great stunt coordinator, Roy, who'd take us out and spend time with us, and, he wouldn't let us roll unless we were prepared to do it. And I've always wanted to pick up a sword anyway and, like, slice someone's head off or something, so it's, came very naturally. Just it's choreography, it's like a dance, so the horse riding was kind of a problem at first.
Had you done any of that?
No, I took one of those silly photos as a kid with, the cowboy clothes on a pony or something. I remember I was scared to death, but these are huge, huge horses, and, every day you have a couple of spare hours, you can go out and you can, take the horse of your choice and see, you command the horse, see how much power you have over him. So eventually, yeah, I'm comfortable now on them, but I have to do that one scene where I get reared up, and that was quite scary because the horse could have fell back, and I under it, but I jumped off, so that's enough. Stop.